Hi, my name is Patrice and I'm here with Andrew Harding, Chief Executive of Management Accounting at the Association. And Andrew's going to be sharing with us some insights that he's gained throughout his career on leadership and emotional intelligence. So thank you, Andrew, for being here. And first question, how do you define leadership?
Leadership's very easy to define, probably less easy to do, but it's about setting direction, setting targets, then allocating resources and motivating and enabling your people to achieve them.
Thank you. That's great insights. And just to say, if any of you do have any questions or comments, please do leave them below in the comment box. So on to the next question. How can leaders ensure their organisation is authentic and emotionally engaged with their employees?
Well, it starts with communication. Mm-hmm. That's not just about broadcasting out, that's about listening, it's about understanding, it's about feeling. And it's also about getting consistent messages out regularly and in a way that's easily understood. But authenticity goes further than that. It's about an openness, it's about an honesty, it's about removing barriers. Those barriers can be physical in the office, they can be social, they can be all about the language that's used, and it's an absolutely critical thing to do. If you can't get the authenticity right, you can't carry your people with you.
Exactly. And I suppose this is about size of organisation, but do you think the challenges of leadership differ depending on how big an organisation or team is that you're leading?
I think overall the principles are always the same. You see differences though in large and small organisations. Small organisations can tend to be entrepreneurial and start-up time, and it's important not to confuse entrepreneurship with leadership. There's a whole difference in the way in which risk is approached, risk is managed, and the sustainable long-term future of the business is considered.
So what are your top tips for inspiring a workforce team or just an individual?
I think, well, my top tips are to engage with individuals, to walk around the business, be visible, show that you're part of that team, show that you're working hard to achieve the objectives, continually talking, listening, and showing that you care.
And I suppose, would you say that optimism is quite a key part of that, to just have an optimistic nature?
Optimism and forward looking is always important. You need to show you can learn from the past, but you can't spend your time looking backwards. Take on board the lessons, set out the direction for the future. And
finally then, I suppose this is one of the most pertinent questions, one that you've probably mulled over a fair bit, and it's actually about the leader that most inspired you in your career and why.
Okay, this is going to be unusual. I'm not going to talk about a business leader or a political leader. I'm going to talk about Sir Alex Ferguson. Now, I'm not a Manchester United supporter, but as a man he achieved something quite remarkable. He took over a tired and fading brand and rejuvenated it and made it successful. He did that in a number of ways. He recognised it wasn't just about the sporting success. Mm-hmm. He worked with others who could achieve success for the club as a business. He was able to take the club through various iterations as the environment changed, as the environment moved. He reinvented the business over and over again, achieving success on multiple occasions. And there were things he did wrong. But he learned from those, and you can see, if you look at the style, how that changed, how that evolved over time. And the different components of success over the 20 or more years he was doing that job varied. But the ultimate goal was always that success. But he was able to flex, he was able to move, he was able to learn, and really became, demonstrably a consummate leader.
And so I suppose from that it sounds as if he was very much aware of his environment, not maybe at all times because you say he made mistakes, but I suppose that's quite important for leaders to always understand what's happening around them as well as inside their organisation, right?
Let's get two things here. Understanding the environment is absolutely critical. Being able to move with the environment, anticipating where the environment is moving and understanding that. Equally, if you don't make mistakes, it means you haven't taken the risk. Nobody ever succeeds without making mistakes, and it's important for leaders to understand that. Otherwise, the business won't succeed. The business needs to be able to make mistakes and learn from them, and then move forward.
So there's an element of fearlessness there, I suppose, but also a balance in understanding that they shouldn't be afraid to make mistakes, but there's something to be learned if a mistake does happen.
Yeah, let's say that's about risk management rather than fearlessness. I think leaders can be fearless, but it's a lonely, lonely place.
Well, thank you very much, Andrew. I must say that was really insightful. And again, if anyone who's watching would like to make any comments or has any questions for us, please do leave them below in the comment box. Thank you.